Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. As we start off this year full of optimism and plans for greatness, let's take a quick look back at the top hacks of 2024 and, hopefully, learn from others' mistakes. First on the list, the Snowflake customer breaches proof that you don't always have to be an evil genius to be a hacker, as cybercriminals were simply using stolen passwords to log into Snowflake accounts that didn't have two-factor authentication turned on. This resulted in what experts were calling the biggest data breach ever. Affected companies included Ticketmaster, Santander Bank, Neiman Marcus, and AT&T. The U.S. Department of Justice have indicted charges against two individuals over the breach. Alexander Connor Muka is facing extradition from Canada, and John Aaron Binns was arrested in Turkey. Next up, the Change Healthcare ransomware attack. I am of the personal opinion that healthcare and minors should be off limits at all times to hackers, but clearly ALPHV, Black Cat, a notorious Russian-speaking ransomware gang, does not have the same code of ethics. In February 2024, the medical billing and insurance processing company was hit with a ransomware attack that impacted over 100 million people. The company paid a $22 million ransom, which unfortunately seems to have emboldened hackers to target the healthcare sector even more. Casual reminder, a hospital cannot work if its systems cannot process medical billing. You get delays, interruptions, shut down ERs. Anyways, Nebraska finished off the year by suing Change Healthcare, alleging that failures to implement basic security protections made the attack much worse. Our third breach would be Russia's midnight blizzard hit on Microsoft. In an incident that compromised company executives' email accounts, the hacker group, which is tied to the Kremlin's SVR Foreign Intelligence Agency and SVR's APT-29 or Cozy Bear, were able to exfiltrate some emails and attach documents. Basically, the goal in this case was espionage. The group seemed to be looking for what information Microsoft had about them. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, HPE, also suffered a similar breach. Could we even have a list without talking about the National Public Data fiasco? Hackers managed to steal and sell on the dark web troves of personal data, including names, addresses, SSNs, phone numbers, exposing up to 2.9 billion records. How, you ask? A security flaw. So yes, this was a hack, not just some backdoor access with stolen passwords. And now the social security numbers and personal details of millions across the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada are forever exposed. Please abandon me and this video now to go lock your credit if you haven't already. Wondering why crypto hasn't hit our list yet? Well, here we are. North Korea was responsible for 61% of all crypto thefts in 2024. How much is 61%, you ask? $1.34 billion in 47 incidents, according to Chainalysis. Talk about scaling up. In 2023, they only stole roughly $660 million across 20 attacks. And yes, North Korea uses stolen crypto to fund its weapons and defense programs. Lovely. All right, last hack on our list for 2024. Drumroll, please. Yup, you guessed it. Cyber warfare between China and the US. The story of China, Salt Typhoon, America's telecom infrastructure, and apparently also the national treasury. Although I would like to quickly note that it is unknown at this time if Salt Typhoon was involved in the US Treasury hack or if that was another group on China's behalf. Right in the middle of America's election cycle, it was discovered that not only had China hacked into the nation's core telecommunications, but they were spying on approximately 150 individuals tied to both the Harris and Trump presidential campaigns. Oh, and America is still actively trying to remove the hackers from their networks, still. China has accused the United States of hacking into a Chinese company, although since the news broke of China hacking into the US Treasury, those articles and claims are now difficult for me to find. If we are truly headed for an era of cyber warfare, let me be the first to admit, we are not ready. I can't even convince y'all to turn on two-factor authentication or use passkeys or to avoid having banking apps on the same device as your social media or fun apps. But what do I know? I'm just a lowly AI bot preaching about cybersecurity. Welcome to 2025.